After working with Davis, I was able to, number one, hire our first operations manager full-time. That was absolutely amazing. It freed up a lot of time for me. And I was also able to grow our coaches as well. We have 3 coaches on staff who are absolutely wonderful. They're the life and blood of the company. And because of that, we're able to generate about $100,000 more in revenue. My name is Tanaka, and I run Winning Ivy Prep College admissions coaching. Basically, we work with high school students on a one-to-one basis and help them get into elite universities in America. Back in the day, I actually had a college counselor myself in high school, and that person was absolutely fundamental to my success. And because of this person, I was able to get into an Ivy League, and at every step of the way, even in college, I continued to converse with her and get some life advice from her. So by the time I graduated college, I felt a lot more clear on what I wanted to do, and I saw the value in a coach very early on. I started my career in iBanking, and then I went over to Google and finance, and I really enjoyed the finance career as well. But on the side, I was constantly doing this sort of coaching relationship with students all around the Bay Area. And then eventually, when it came time to make a call between do I want to continue growing this side business or go full force, there came a point when I could go all in on this business, or I can continue working at Google. I decided quite easily that doing this, working with high school students, impacting lives for real was significantly more interesting for me and more exciting. So I quit my job at Google and I continue to do this full time. In terms of motivation, I really genuinely cared about impact. When you're working in finance, impact isn't really the first thing that comes to mind. So that number one was my huge overarching goal. And of course, a little bit more freedom in my career was another overarching goal as well. And thirdly, I just saw such values in great coaches when I was younger, and I just really wanted to impart that wisdom as well. Before I was working with Davis, the business was doing really well. I was very happy and excited to serve our students day in, day out. But at the same time, I was getting the feeling that my time was very thin. I was working what felt like 12-hour days, and I knew that deep in my heart, I should be hiring. There's something else I should be doing in the business, but I just really wasn't sure what exactly to do. Not only that, I had fear and mental blocks stopping me as well. So I wasn't really clear on the next steps. I came across Davis in a community that I'm part of, and I had asked a question in the community. And I had some pretty good responses to the question, but when I logged into my computer the next day, I saw basically like a 3-page response from Davis explaining the context of my question and giving me the most comprehensive advice and feedback and just his general thought process. So I thought that was way above and beyond what I was expecting, and I decided to get on a call with him. And he was nice enough to give me more of his ideas and thoughts and feedback. And so for me, the fact that Davis went above and beyond and was able to read between the lines, and as a person asking the question too, sometimes you don't know exactly what question to ask. So you don't really know what you don't know. And what Davis is really great about is he is able to figure out what you don't know or what questions you're not asking, and he's able to decipher that and then tell you the answer that you were actually seeking to begin with. After working with Davis, I was able to, number one, hire our first operations manager full-time. That was absolutely amazing. It freed up a lot of time for me. And I was also able to grow our coaches as well. We have 3 coaches on staff who are absolutely wonderful. They're the life and blood of the company. And because of that, we're able to generate about $100,000 more in revenue. After knowing Davis, I feel like I have generally a lot more clarity. And for me, with more clarity, I have more focus. And so I'm able to focus on the 1 or 2 things that really matter and move the needle forward. In terms of professionally, I feel like Davis is really good at a frameworked way of thinking. And he has a really great thought process and he's able to explain his thoughts very clearly. And so in working with Davis, I was able to take that away from him as well, and I apply it to my own coaching clients. My happiness has definitely grown since working with Davis. Before, I was doing everything and anything all at once. And while that was serving me in that season of my world and my business, I knew that to go to the next season, there needed to be a big change. And in working with Davis, he was able to help clear the clouds up for me, help me overcome the struggle and the fear that I was experiencing, and again, have that clarity that I've always wanted. My confidence in my business since working with Davis has definitely increased. I absolutely recommend working with Davis to other people, absolutely. If someone's on the fence or not quite sure about working with Davis, I suggest getting on a quick call with him, just getting his take on a few things and just picking his brain and getting a sense of how he thinks about things, because you'll be blown away in quickly 5 minutes.